In this episode, a viewer weighs whether to keep or trade her Chery Tiggo 4 Pro.
We search for a reliable 7-seater SUV for daily drives and, of course, long trips.
And we advise a viewer facing a dealership dispute over a faulty Kia Rio.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Guide. Every week, we try to provide you with useful advice, whether it relates to buying, selling, or just maintaining a vehicle. If you've got a question for the team, you can send an email to buyersguide@ignitiontv.co.za and contain as much information as possible, as well as a photo of yourself.
And joining us in studio to help resolve those troubling automotive issues are Pogiso Dibakone from Pogiso Electronics and new to Buyer's Guide, Ashley Samuel from National Automobile Dealers Association, or NADA as we know it. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Welcome, Ashley, new to the
it's
show.
your first time here. Let's have a good show today, guys.
All right, let's get into our first question, which comes from Lesibane. He drives a 2022 Chery Tiggo 4 Pro manual with 58,000 kilometers on the clock. With the service plan ending at 60,000 kilometers, he's weighing the risk of future maintenance costs. The car's been dependable overall, with only a minor wiper motor issue resolved under warranty. Now, should he hold on to it or trade it while the value is still strong? Pogiso?
Well, look, I don't know why he wants to trade it in. It's the kilometers are still low. Those cars, even after a warranty, they're not really expensive. I don't see what is the reason for him to trade it in now. I think he's still keep it and drive it a bit.
Ashley, what's your take on this?
Well, my personal opinion is he should keep it. The service plan is almost up, but you know that can also be renewed. The service plans are not very expensive on these vehicles, so I would say keep it and service it. Then he's got a full service history on the vehicle.
His next question in there was, in the event that he is getting rid of the vehicle, what are some of the options that he should consider as a next step? Seeing that this is a mini SUV or a SUV per se.
Yeah. Well, look, other options that will go within the same bracket or same model vehicle would be your Haval. I don't see a reason to change to that because you will be still getting the same technology.
Mm-hmm.
I would still keep the car because it's cheaper, and if he has financed it, obviously there's a couple of years into it, so he would be finishing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-year-old car.
Yeah.
Ashley,
It doesn't need to get financial.
So you
impact
should
on
keep
that.
the car.
Keep the car.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. It's pointless. 60,000 kilometers is no mileage nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, if you went to buy a good second-hand car and you saw it for 60,000 kilometers, that's what we refer to as low mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the car, because if you have to replace that car, so let's look at that. It's a base model Tiggo 4, which is doesn't have automatic gearboxes, which maybe can give problems, and it doesn't have a turbocharged engine, which maybe can give problems. It's got the simple technology in it, which is great. So if you have to replace that, let's look and say, what are you going to get as a trade-in on it? Maybe 180, maybe 200,000 rand. Now to replace it, you're going to spend another 200,000 rand.
Yeah.
Just in case something's going to go wrong with it. So, I mean, you'd rather just put a bit of money away every month for maintenance. You can take it to an aftermarket service center to get it repaired if you want to have slightly cheaper bills than dealerships, because dealerships, are more expensive. So do it that way. And really, I think if you maintain the car as per manufacturer's recommendations, or even better, every 10,000 kilometers as opposed to every 15,000 kilometers, you get longevity out of your car. Just maintain it properly. You should easily get 200,000 kilometers out of that car. And at that rate, 200,000 Ks, if you've done 60,000 in 3 years, 200,000 Ks, that's another like 5-6 years of motoring. So keep the car. I wouldn't move it on.
And with any car, Adam's advice is absolutely sound.
Well, of course, it's my advice.
is reduce your service intervals to 10,000.
For sure. Yeah.
You're going to get longevity out of any motor vehicle.
Yeah.
And if you want to find yourself a decent workshop, chat to your friends, family, ask them where do they get their vehicle maintained, go aftermarket somewhere, go there as a referral, find a good place, build a relationship with that workshop, go to decent workshops, not these guys working under trees on the side of the road. That's just looking for trouble. A proper establishment, because if you have a problem, you can go back, they'll resolve those problems for you, and if they don't resolve it, then you've obviously got a crummy workshop. Okay, we're going to move on to our next question, which comes from Kelly, a first-time buyer and father of 3. Now, he's torn between Renault Clio RS, Volkswagen Polo GTI, and a Ford Fiesta ST. He wants a performance car that can still carry his family. Now, he's got 3 other people in the family, and he plans to keep for a long term. Which option strikes the best balance between driving, excitement, practicality, and long-term collectability?
4 other people in the family.
Well, okay, there's 4 in total.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, 3 or 4. so he's a first-time buyer of a car. He
Yeah.
wants to buy himself a hot hatch, which are all generally like 2-door cars. Okay, the Polo GTI is a 4-door. But is that the sensible way?
Wait, Adam, that's exactly what I was going to say.
He has 3 kids. What is he doing?
He wants the most sensible choice. And for me, you can't say sensible and those 3 cars
No.
in the same sentence.
No, especially Clio RS. I mean,
I mean,
None of them.
None
I
of
would say
them
don't
are
buy any
sensible.
of them. I get it. We're young. We want a
Yeah.
fast car, impress our mates or whatever. But you've got kids and stuff like that. School fees are coming up, dude. Buy yourself what?
buy yourself a
small
Corolla.
SUV or a Corolla, yes.
Buy yourself a Corolla because, I mean, you got 3 kids. There's a lot of responsibilities that you would have to take care of. I mean, if you go for a Polo GTI, there's insurance that's going to be ridiculously expensive. A Ford ST, oh man, not reliable.
You know what I love?
You got a lot of problems here.
Yeah.
Ashley, this is what he says. He looked to purchase a more family-focused vehicle later on.
I was gonna
What's
get
he?
to that.
What kind of a family he's going to have now?
Well, I was going to get to that because, you know what, it's either he just wants a runaround car just to take the kids to school or whatever the case may be, and the wife probably has a
To walk, the wife will have to walk.
walk or take the bus, but she's probably got her own vehicle as well. So maybe he wants something just to, like I said, school runs, things like that, but also something for the weekends where he can have a track day. So, for me, the GTI has proven to be a proper everyday car with its history, but the RS and the ST have been proven to be better track cars. So he needs to look at what's more suitable for his family in terms of those everyday runs, if it's that case.
Certainly, it's a first-time car buyer. I would,
Yeah.
Now, Kelly hasn't given us like a budget on what he wants to
No.
spend. But if you look at like an ST or a Polo GTI, you're most probably looking for a decent one of anything between sort of 200 to 250
yeah.
years in there.
Yeah.
That's sort of entry-level kind of stuff. And they're all hellish expensive to maintain. They've all been hammered. If this is your first car, don't go out and buy something like this. In the same sort of budget, honestly, you want to buy yourself something sensible. A Suzuki Baleno,
Yes.
Toyota Starlet, a Suzuki Franx, something that's light on fuel, cheap to run. It's got the space for your family, and you can drive it. When the kids are out of school, go and buy yourself the hot hatch or whatever. Don't go that route, because I promise you, you're going to regret it, and your children are going to be starving because you're going to be paying all these bills to fix the car all the time. Insurance.
Yes.
So insurance costs on a vehicle like that, and if you're going to buy a vehicle like that and finance it, they insist on insurance. You must probably talking 1,500 Rand a month just on insurance on cars like that. You buy something more sensible, like some of the cars that I mentioned, you may find your insurance is 500-600 Rand.
Sure.
Big difference, big difference.
And first-time car owner as well.
Yeah.
Insurance going to be crazy.
It's going to be hammered. Yeah.
Actually, the finance is going to be a problem.
Yes.
Everything's going to be a problem. Go buy yourself a sensible car. Don't buy those. Welcome back to Buyer's Guide. Edmund, he's got 375,000 Rand to spend on a reliable 7-seater SUV for daily commutes and long trips to Limpopo. He needs strong suspension for rough roads and safety tech, low mileage and good fuel consumption. He's weighing up the options like Honda CR-V, Chery Tiggo, Renault Duster and Kia Sportage. None of those are 7-seaters. He currently drives a 2016 Sandero 1-litre turbo stepway and wonders whether to keep it or trade it in. Let's take a look at his first part of the question. He wants a 7-seater. He's given us a Honda CR-V is not a 7-seater. Chery Tiggo is not a 7-seater. Duster is not a 7-seater. Kia Sportage. Ashley, what would you throw in there as a 7-seater in this sort of budget?
I would throw in a Honda BR-V as a good 7-seater.
Fantastic car. Brilliant car. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So for me, that would be, the choice I would make, especially for those Limpopo drives.
Yeah, definitely. Bakkie, sir?
Well, look, he would, for the budget, you would have to go a bit older model. Toyota.
Second-hand X7?
Nah,
Nah.
there's no way. That's the price for tires.
Yeah, it is.
He would have to go for a second-hand Toyota Fortuner for that, because he's talking about Limpopo. I mean, those terrain could be rough.
I put him in my favorite car,
What is your
the
favorite?
Pajero Sport.
Nah.
He looked for a
And
Pajero.
we gone with the Pajero? Are you also on the Pajero also?
Look, I think the Pajero Sport's a great option. At 375,000,
5,000.
you get an old one.
And-
I like Ashley's. I know what you're saying about the suspension and stuff like that, but I know the roads are just a bit bumpy. I mean, he's not going to go off-roading. I mean, it may be a bit bumpy. You can drive in Santon and the roads are bad.
Can you read his surname there? This man is Venda. He's gonna go to Venda the bumpy road.
Is it that bad?
It's that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna take you to a funeral of his cousin's cousin, and it's gonna be sitting like this. So it's gonna have he's gonna be going off road with the vehicle.
So, you know, the Fortuner then is another good option.
Yes.
At 375,000 Rand, you're going to get yourself a reasonable Fortuner.
Yeah.
You're also going to get a Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. If you're concerned about the theft risk, the Pajero Sport is as good, if not better, than a Fortuner. So in terms of reliability,
Yeah.
brilliant cars. So, but if you're a Toyota fan, great option that.
Is a Fortuner, yeah.
Yeah. If your roads aren't bad, I like what Ashley's saying here about.
Yeah, the BRV.
That's what
Yes.
I was going to say. Find yourself something like a BRV. You'll get it, less mileage. It'll be very light on fuel. It will be absolutely bulletproof, reliable in terms
Yeah.
of the mechanics of the vehicle, even on the suspension side. But obviously, it's not designed for, as Pogiso says, roads that are driving like this and ka-donk, ka-donk, ka-donk. That you want Pajero or you want a
Fortuner.
Fortuner.
Yeah.
So those are the options. The cars that you gave us, all great cars, but none of them are 7-seaters. They're only 5-seaters with space. If you wanted a 7-seater, then the others that we have mentioned. Go and have a look at.
Okay, our next question is from Maropeng, and he's torn between the Peugeot Landtrek and GWMP Series 300. He's focused on getting the most value, a reliable and comfortable drive, good fuel efficiency, and strong off-road performance. He isn't considering the top-selling brands, and he plans to keep the vehicle for 5 to 10 years. So long-term durability and dependability are key. Ashley, what do you think from these two vehicles?
Well, for me, the GWM offers more refinement. It's got more power, but the Landtrek is simpler and it's better for off-road, in my personal opinion. But the thing he says is he plans to keep it for
5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just that both vehicles haven't been on the market that
Long
long
enough, yeah.
for us to have 10 years worth of data to say he's going to, take it to that level. So.
This is the problem with anything that's relatively new.
Correct.
Because I remember when Volkswagen came out first with the DSG gearbox, and I said, wow, this thing is brilliant. It's the best gearbox I've driven and everything. 5 years later, because you had no history on it.
Yeah.
5 years later, I was saying, wow, this thing is the biggest load of junk out. and that's the problem. You don't know.
Yeah.
Like, the P-Series has been around for a fair amount, a couple of years. So it's got some sort of
This is the
reliability.
P300, eh? It's pretty new as well.
That's the new one. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's,
It looks nice, but man, it looks good.
you also, then you've got the Peugeot, which is,
Is
how
Suzuki,
often
isn't
do you see those things on the road? I think they've sold 2.5 of them.
If that, I think
Yeah, it's
one
not-
and a half.
it's very
is right.
popular. It's not popular at
You
all.
don't see many around. And the other problem is, in terms of where does this gentleman live? Where is he going to get it maintained?
Dealer network.
Where is he going to get parts for? GWMP series, you do see a fair amount of them around.
Yeah.
They
The
do sell.
footprint is big now.
So the footprint is big, so you'll find a dealer network around. P series, definitely the way to go.
Maybe we should also suggest then the Triton
It is a
or
great
the
option.
Navara.
Yeah.
There's other options
Yeah.
for you. But the Isuzus, you should actually take a look at the Isuzu.
Yeah.
Go drive it.
In terms of
before
reliability.
he decides, look, no, I want to go for a P300. It's not that it's a bad vehicle, because for a second-hand Isuzu or a Toyota or even a Ford, you probably get a pretty new P300.
Yeah. I think the interesting his interest is that he's looking to buy brand new, and the top 3 that he mentions, all of those guys are very
It's
expensive.
very expensive.
I
Yes.
mean, the Peugeot is very cheap. It's a bit less on power, about 20 kilowatts than the P series. But the biggest downfall with the Peugeot is that there's no really big dealer network. But Peugeot has been around, guys. I mean, you remember the 30305?
The problem is they've been
Yes.
around and we know about them, so that's why I wouldn't recommend a Peugeot. Actually, is there anything else you'd chuck in here?
No, I tend to agree with the colleagues here to say, listen, you know, the P series is a better
Yeah.
option for him, especially in terms of the low-cost maintenance if he's going to keep it.
Yeah, he wants it 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, so from a maintenance point of view, it's going to be cheaper than the Peugeot.
There are lots of other Chinese Bakkies,
Options,
Photon,
yeah.
JAC, just to mention a couple. But I think if you look at the P series,
Yeah.
you know, you've got good buys and you've got a great buy. And I think that the P series would be a great buy compared to the others. So I think we've decided for you. Go to GWM, buy yourself a P series.
300, yeah.
Segi says you'll be very happy. If you're not, you can phone him. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hello and thank you for tuning in to Buyer's Guide. Tsebo bought a 2018 Kia Rio from a used car dealership in March of 2025. The car was overdue for a service on delivery, and a service center soon found a leaking rear shock and recommended replacing the clutch kit and flywheel as well. The dealership disputes these issues, citing a recent roadworthy inspection, and refuses to address anything beyond the overdue service. Tsebo wants to know whether the Ombudsman can help cancel the deal and what the typical process and timeline might be. Ashley, what would you advise Tsebo to do? And now don't forget, I think that there's a 6 months period from purchase to, and during the 6 months, I understand that there is you can claim on almost anything on the vehicle as long as it's not related to driver abuse.
Yes, correct. There is a 6-month implied warranty from the CPA. Yeah, it all depends on how you look at it and what's covered under the implied warranty. Not everything is under warranty. So you'll have to go through it. But what I always recommend to all consumers is you document everything that happens. You create a timeline. You keep all your documentation, all your communication between yourself and the dealership in question. And then you lodge a complaint either through the consumer complaints at the RMI. If it's a member of the RMI, we will take it up on your behalf. Or if it's not an RMI member, you could take it up with MIOSA.
But you can't, I believe you can't get a deal cancelled. The RMI can't cancel the deal.
No, it's not in the
And
RMI.
neither can the Ombudsman. The
No.
only people who can is the Consumer Protection, the Consumer Council. Consumer
correct.
Council.
Correct. So we won't be able to, we can intervene in the sense that where we can try and assist the consumer and the dealer to try and reach consensus on the matter, but we cannot get the deal cancelled.
yeah.
For
So also you've got to look at it and say, I mean, Kia Rios are good cars. You've got, I know there are 2 complaints here, and neither of them are really serious. You know, if you've got a leaky shock, as an example, but let's just take this as he bought it last week or whatever. If it had leaky shock absorbers and there was a problem with the clutch, certainly when you drove the car, if there was no slippage on the clutch or anything, then it shouldn't be replaced. It's not necessary to replace it. Also, in terms of when this customer is getting a quote for somebody to replace a flywheel on a Kia Rio, that is not necessary because the flywheels can be machined, skimmed flat again. You don't need to replace the flywheel. So it's the kind of thing you would advise to try and go back to the dealer and say, look, this is the problem, and let the dealer have a look at it and say, there is nothing wrong with the clutch, so why replace it? You know, there is nothing wrong with the shock absorber, why replace it? Because sometimes, you find that people will go to some workshop and they're trying to make some money out of it. Go, oh, look, there's a tiny little leak or something, which is not necessary. There can be a problem to try and resolve these disputes. For you to go and actually try and cancel this deal, it's not worth it. Rather get those problems sorted out. Let me play the devil's advocate here. You buy the car, a month later you're driving down our roads, which are full of potholes, you whack a pothole, you damage the shock absorber.
Then it's not covered.
Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Is that the dealer who sold you the vehicle's fault that that part got damaged? No, it's not his fault, and he shouldn't be held responsible for that. So, you know, you've got to play these things up and say, go to the dealer and see what the problem is, and is it worthwhile? Otherwise, you can get the RMI involved,
And
NADA, which is the National
Dealership
Automotive.
Association.
Automotive Dealership Association. So those are the guys that handle the second-hand car dealers. But if the second-hand car dealer is not part of that association, you can just go away. Go away.
I have a different perspective
Yeah.
on this, in a sense that I've dealt with cases like this before.
Yes.
The biggest problem that people do is that you would see that he's asking for a time period.
Yeah.
Argue these things. The very first time he took delivery of the vehicle, he knew that there's something wrong because he's highlighting that there was a service.
Overdue service.
Yeah. You shouldn't have taken the vehicle. If you notice things like this within a month, take the car back, argue this thing while the dealer has the car,
Yeah.
so that you don't have this email going back and forth, arguing with RMI, motor industry ombudsman.
Making a big problem out of a small problem.
So force the bank, because he says the major banks, so we're talking about proper banks, yeah?
Yeah.
Force the bank to intervene, because you must remember, as a dealer, you have a responsibility to sell
He got
proper
no
products.
response from the financial provider. You know why? When you call the banks, they tell you, sir, we don't do maintenance
Yes.
and repair.
We just finance.
We just finance.
Yeah.
He argued this, having basically kept the car with him. Should have taken the car back and let the dealer sort this out with the financer while the car is sitting there. Then you don't have this email going back and
Yeah.
forth. You tell the bank, I'm not in a possession of that car, so it's still with the dealer. I'm not happy with it.
Yeah.
Then you'll see the bank will come.
Get
No,
involved.
that's great advice for
Yeah.
you know, people who are watching the show for future. But when you've got something like this, unfortunately, it is a couple of months old before we actually see those problems. We don't know exactly the communications,
Yeah.
what is actually going on. But hopefully this helps people who are watching to try and understand how to resolve problems before they get too big. Now we're going to end off things with a question from Neo. And he owns a 2016 Toyota Corolla Quest 1.6 with 155,000 Ks on the clock. And he's interested in modifying the vehicle for improved performance and appearance. He is seeking advice on what modifications are practical and safe, how to ensure any changes comply with legal and safety recommendations, and what costs and professional support they should expect during the process. Okay.
What's his budget? What's his budget?
He doesn't have
Isho.
a budget. He
He
inherited,
give me a budget,
inherited
and
this
then I
vehicle.
can tell him what he
Make it look nice. Seki, what are you going to do?
Make it look nice.
Turbo,
Come on.
nitrous,
No, he should
Mag
just
wheels, drop the suspension.
find out what his budget is, trade this car in and buy a faster car and one that looks a little bit better.
And
Go
Neo-
get yourself.
Neo inherited this vehicle. He didn't buy it. So that's why he feels that he needs to.
He
One
needs
you
to-
inherited some money with it as well to spend on it. Actually, what do you think about? I mean, it's a Corolla Quest. It's not exactly something that you're going to
Yeah, it's
be
not
excited
something you're
about.
going to see on a Thursday night drags at,
Nah.
you know.
Also, you know when the drags are happening.
Is there any downhill drags? Because that's what will work.
Yeah, I was thinking he's probably going to be running with his car, yeah, you know. But, you know, the Corolla Quest is a decent family car, but if you want to modify this, I would rather invest that money in something else that you can see value in terms of modifications. There's not much you can do with this car, to be honest. You know, when you're talking body-wise, there's not much. When you're talking engine, there is. You know, your standard free flow and mags and that type of thing.
Yeah.
But from what way he's put this question, seems like he wants this thing to be that.
Yeah, it's not going to look like something out of Fast and
It's
Furious.
not going to look like something.
not a
Exactly.
No, it's not.
The styling,
Exactly.
the car does not allow. Even if you put decent read
What
mud
he
flaps,
should do.
intakes.
No, but
He should
also,
get rid of this and go get himself a one race XA,
yeah.
a WRX.
Yeah, but also this vehicle particularly, if you look at aftermarket parts in terms of modifying it, there's not much out there. Because
They
guys-
didn't make anything.
Exactly,
Because
so-
they didn't think Naya would come along.
No, they
They weren't waiting for Naya to come along.
Yeah.
There's
You're
no
not gonna find
upgrade
much out
kits
there.
because nobody would buy them. Simply, it's a basic 1.8. No, it's a
1.6.
1.6. It's a 1.6. It's a non-turbo basic engine. You can spend a lot of money on trying to get 10% more power out of it. So it's still going to be slow. Doesn't matter. Even if you double the power out of it, it's still going to be slow because the base model is not exactly a high-performance engine. I would just suggest you get some nice mag wheels on it, which will get mud by our potholes, and you're going to go through rims and tires and everything. Get something decent on it, you know, make it look nice. Give it,
No, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all you can do. There's not much you can do.
There's not much you can do.
Or sell
Get
the
rid of
car.
the car and go buy something else. And with that, we've come to the end of this week's show. Thank you, Ashley and Popiso, for joining us. All your useful advice and tips.
Until next time, please buckle up, stay safe on the roads.